It was good, dog. So today we're going to be talking about abortion. This is such a bad idea, but that's why I'm doing it. Now, I'm sure when you're in like elementary or middle school, you watch some story time animators like the odd ones, Out Jane Animations, maybe even Domix if you're a little bit older, or maybe even Illymation. Now, Illymation, of course, I discovered her when she talked about her abusive boyfriend, and I'm like, whoa, that poopy's deep. I've never been in a relationship in my whole life, and that poopy's crazy. That story was awesome. I'm gonna subscribe. So I've been subscribed ever since I was like 12 or 13. I don't remember. And I've watched every single videos of hers ever since. Like, gosh dang it, it's so bloody relatable. Like, imagine having horrible fashion senses in like middle school and stuff. Like, that poopy's crazy. But of course, when you live in California, you make content for YouTube, and you have a lot of friends that are celebrities, you end up falling into a crowd that is just very, very common nowadays, and I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. Liberals. Now, if you know me, I love liberal things. I'm a bloody artist. Artist for liberals, okay? I love the bloody Owl House, even though it has bloody lesbian children in it. I love the bloody Hell of a Boss, even though it has a bunch of man whores in it, you know? And, like, the majority of my friends are bloody liberals. And so I can tolerate liberal stuff very well. But of course, I have my limits. There's a certain point where I just get, you know? And then it just gets to the point where I gotta press record on OBS or Premiere Pro or something and just air my grievances about what the frick I just heard. And so that's what's happening today. Today we're gonna be reacting to a bloody Illymation, why I got the bloody abortion in quotations. I'm sorry for this long intro, okay? We're just gonna get started, alright?
Hello, my name is Alyssa, and in January 2022, I could tell something was very, very wrong with my body. Which, to be fair, is a common occurrence for me. I battled eczema as soon as I popped out of the womb. I then survived pneumonia before I could—
What is bloody eczema? It's too much reading, I don't know, and I don't care.
I was later diagnosed with asthma and went to asthma camp. I've struggled with my mental health and only recently found out I was on the spectrum. And you do not want to be around me after I've eaten cheese.
Yes, of course. As we've learned over the years, Illymation is very comfortable with sharing a lot of personal stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? You can talk about your autism diagnosis, your bloody asthma, your bloody abusive boyfriend, all that stuff. Anyway, that is not the thick of the reason of why we're here today, so let's continue. Okay, I'm hopping on the mic real quick while I'm editing this. I'm talking into your, like, left or right ear, whatever ear you're hearing this in. The majority of this video by Illymation that I'm reacting to, it's about, like, her getting the worst periods in her entire life, like, blood everywhere, and then she ends up getting like tissue tumors in her uterus and stuff. So all of that stuff I'm just cutting out because all the stuff that I've had to commentate about, it just made this video super long. So now I'm just leaving all of the abortion stuff, okay? So there's a lot of holes in the plot of the video that I'm reacting to, and so if you're wondering why, that's it. That's why I'm just cutting a bunch of stuff out. So if you want to hear the whole story, just look at the video yourself and react to it if you're super curious. But for right now, I'm just talking about abortion, so that's all you need to worry about. So anyway, let's actually continue. Okay, so according to Alyssa, which is her real name, by the way, this is all when the Roe v. Wade thing was happening and it was being overturned, all that stuff. 2022, all that crazy. So you're telling me there are at least 20 bloody religious people that hate abortion in California. These people are real? Are you, bruh? If you are religious and you live in California, leave.
They had no idea what was going on inside me. Heck, I didn't even know what was going on inside me. That's why I came here. But here they were, pretending to know why I was here, pretending to care about my body, and doing so by raising such a ruckus about it that I didn't feel safe. Simply.
They don't care about you. They care about the alleged baby that might be inside of you. That's what it is. Also, if you're a ginger, then you're probably a liberal. They often have low self-esteem, experience insecurity, and feel a profound sense of being not only different from other people, but also inferior. Redheads are bloody liberals, it's confirmed. Like, the majority of redheads that I've ever met, they're all insecure biddies and stuff, you know? If you're a ginger that's above the age of 40, then you do not fit that stereotype.
And on top of that, accusing me and my doctors of murder. And the most fucked up part of me believed them. Even though I knew what they were chanting couldn't be further from the truth.
So a liberal, going off of their own, like, kind of assumptions, stuff like that, they were admitting to themselves that doing an abortion would be murder. Probably, she didn't mention this, but probably until she talked to some of her friends, who then convinced her, probably, maybe not, that it is not murder and it's fine. People show intelligence until they ask someone else about this stuff, and then they tell them what is what, and then boom, we have closed-minded people. That is very interesting. You see, when I first found out what abortion was when I was like 8, I understood that it was killing a baby before it was even born. Like, that sounds like basic murder. Like, come on, bro. And most of the people around me would agree that that was murder, religious or not. But then, when you got people of, like, this high authority in 2022 that happen to be left-leaning, they're like, abortion's not actually murder. It's totally fine, and it should be fine. Why are you making it a choice for states to choose whether or not it should be legal? It's totally fine. Why are we having this discussion? And then everyone that votes for them, they're like, oh my gosh, abortion's actually good? Yeah, keep it legal in every single state. What are y'all doing? This is one of the many problems in today's society. Everyone just goes along with the higher powers of what they're saying, and they don't think for themselves. They're closed-minded. It's so annoying. There's a reason why I'm making this video when I'm making it, okay? Like, I'm so tired of everyone talking about abortion in general, like left or right. It's just getting annoying now. The fact that we've gotten to the point where we've decided that abortion isn't murder, that's the very thing that just annoys me. Because you can say that it should be legal in every single state. You should say that people should be given the choice to do abortion and all that. Like, that's fine. That's your opinion. I totally understand. I understand if you think that you're not ready to have that kind of responsibility of going through childbirth and taking care of a baby. That is, I get it, okay? But then saying that you believe with, like, 100% confidence abortion is not murder, that is where I am drawing the line, because that is just the dumbest thing I have heard. Maybe not the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but like it's up there, okay? When we harvest chicken eggs and we boil them and eat them, that is bloody murder. You're stealing a hen's eggs to cook and eat them. You're preventing the life of a baby chicken to be had, okay? That, to me, is murder, and that, to everyone, has always been murder up until last year. Like, what? We slaughter cows and pigs and grown chickens for food. That is bloody murder. We harvest their eggs and boil and eat them. That is bloody murder. When you kill a bloody baby that's still an embryo or fetus, that isn't murder. What? Okay, elderly people, they have rights. Middle-aged people, they have rights. Adults have rights. Young adults, they have rights. Teenagers have rights. Children have rights. Adolescents have rights. Toddlers, infants. But we draw the line when they are a fetus. They have a bloody heartbeat. They are kicking around in the womb. They even have a heartbeat when they're at a certain stage of being an embryo. And we don't consider it murder? What are you talking about? I don't expect anyone to be convinced after me having this rant here and realizing, oh my gosh, abortion is murder. What have I been saying this whole time? Because like I said, I'm just airing my grievances because I am just so tired of you all speak and spit all of this nonsense. Sure, advocate for abortion to be legal in every single state. Whatever. But why can't you admit that you are willing to advocate for murder of cows, pigs, and chickens so we can eat them, but then not kill fetuses? Okay, you're saying that you're not killing them at all. I think you get the idea. We're barely halfway through this Illymation video, so let's just finish.
And that's when my doctor discovered something in my uterus. It was only 1 centimeter big, so maybe the size of an M&M, but it was attached to the inside wall of my uterus.
Okay, so here's the big reveal. Is it a baby? Is it a tumor? Is it a growth of tissue? A, B, or C? Let's find out.
And so, as my doctor theorized, Mother Nature was trying her darndest to wash it down the drain, so to speak. But it was still hanging on despite her efforts. That's why I was bleeding so much. That's why I was so tired. There was something growing inside of me. My body couldn't take it, and it was doing its best to get rid of it per usual natural processes, but it just wasn't strong enough. I was terrified when she explained this to me. This had never happened to me before, and I did everything right. I was always careful. I'd been on birth control since the age of 15, nearly.
Bloody 15. You're admitting to the whole internet that okay, you're suggesting that you do schmecks. Okay, that's what bloody birth control is. That's what the condom thing was. Hold on, let's run it back.
I did everything right.
Why you walk like that? Look at that. You see, nowadays the left have normalized the discussion of schmecks before marriage. It is completely normal. And you can go online on bloody YouTube with your child audience and say that you partake in premarital schmexy time. You see, back when Jesus was still alive, if people found out that you were committing adultery, you would be stoned in the street. Anyway, so you get my Ben Shapiro impression, what I'm trying to say here. Imagine admitting that you frick to your child audience like that. There's just something about that don't sit right with me. Like, you can be Kai Cenat and say, yeah, I pay prostitutes to frick in my New York apartment, yeah, and that's like fine because he's a black Twitch streamer, like who cares. But a bloody pale skinned redhead doing pretty much the same thing, kind of, but not really, because she fricks her boyfriends that she'll have once every 4 months or something. It's like, it gives me the EBGBs, you know what I'm saying? It's so hard to explain. Anyway, let's move on.
Always careful. I'd been on birth control since the age of 15, nearly 10.
The age of 15, and admitting that it's been since you were 15, okay? Gay porn has too many views. I know you're lying, okay? If you look like this when you were 15, you're lying, okay?
I decided to go for the D&C, but I had to wait another 2 months. The soonest they could get me in was June 9th to be exact, which, fun fact, was about 2 weeks before I went to VidCon.
You see what I'm talking about? We finally have a picture of her here. You are lying. Since you were 15, you are lying.
And double fun fact, this was the same time frame that the Supreme Court was reconsidering the 1973 landmark ruling of Roe v. Wade that concluded the right to access abortion. So I gained another fear that this procedure would not happen, that my doctors would be arrested.
And that I would die. Gotta laugh through the pain, man.
Thankfully, I was able to have my surgery on the 9th. I got the 2 growths removed, and a couple weeks later, the lab confirmed the mysterious fast-growing lumps inside my uterus were benign, meaning I did not have uterine or cervical cancer.
What? Wait a minute. You
Wait a
said you
minute.
had an abortion.
You said you had an abortion.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't.
But you didn't.
Well, technically, according to the law, I did. Since the Supreme Court eliminated the federal right to an abortion and has now left it up to each individual state to decide, the procedure performed on my body, a procedure that removes unwanted tissue from inside the uterus, in some states, by law, is now considered an abortion.
That poopy's crazy. I had no idea. Like, huh?
No, it
No,
wasn't.
it wasn't.
You didn't have a
You
baby.
didn't have a
in
baby.
You weren't
You
pregnant.
weren't pregnant.
I know. I know that. You know that. And my doctors know that.
Uh-huh.
But lawmakers don't.
Wow.
They're not me, they're not you, and they're not doctors. Most of them don't even
Okay,
have
here
a
we go.
uterus, let alone fidelity in their marriages.
All right, shut the
and
frick
yet,
up.
they get to define what an abortion is. And according to their broad, vague, and flimsy definitions, I had an abortion. God forbid you miscarry and the
All right, here we go.
unviable fetus is killing you from the inside out. You would also need a D&C. But the law would say, ooh, sorry, that's an abortion, and we can't allow that.
All right.
Isn't that messed up? So
You see, it is. I totally agree it is. And the reason why that logic is flawed is because it doesn't matter what state you live in. You can have a medically necessary abortion. If something inside you is growing that is ultimately killing you, then you could get it removed no matter what state you bloody live in. Crazy concept. Even if you are pregnant and there's something up with that little fetus, and if that thing is born, it will kill you, then you could decide to have an abortion because it's you or the baby. It's a 1v1, okay? What you all are doing is doing smexy before marriage, getting pregnant, realizing that if you became a mother at the age that you are, you would not be able to go to college and stuff, and then your life will be ruined, so then you're like, okay, let's just have an abortion, it's all gonna be fine. You should have bloody thought of that before you fricked. Like, it's just one of those things, you just gotta be responsible, okay? People just like to do whatever they want, and they feel like they don't have to suffer the consequences. That's what the overturning is supposed to be if you live in a state that illegalizes abortion and stuff like that. If you want to be irresponsible, live in bloody California. I've been saying this the whole time. Just go to California. Nobody cares. Have a road trip. Do the bloody abortion there and then just drive back, you know? Anyway, so in conclusion, you can have a medically necessary abortion if it's a bloody tissue that is going to kill you, or it's a baby that will kill you if it is born, okay? Totally fine. And then all this stuff popping up, I don't know, it just seems like religious propaganda. And so if they're preventing the removal of miscarriage tissue, I don't know. I think that's a them thing, not a state thing or something. Look at that. Colored hair. And why did he write this as a question, but it has an exclamation point instead of a question mark? Like, huh?
I'd also be crying because I'd have no choice but to die a slow and painful death. Did you hear me? I would.
Wrong.
So if you felt betrayed that I would dare to call this procedure by.
You live in California. That was all just a theory that you would have no choice. But you live in California, so you still have a choice.
You need to confront the fact that you don't value my life. You don't value the living. You only value an organ and its ability to produce children, not the actual living, breathing person who, for some reason, has to beg for the right to their life, their liberty, and their happiness. That's what this is all about. That's what this...
You see, the left have put up the facade of happiness being these horrible deeds that will make you happy, but really it makes you more miserable. Something, philosophy, liberals, and yeah.
Thank you for watching my video, and as always, stay safe.
You see, I will stay safe from people like you, because if people at school find out that I made a video about all of this, and me saying that their rights have no weight when it comes to children, then they're going to murder me in my sleep. But that's why I don't tell anyone that I have a YouTube channel, because I'm here to speak my mind, and no one else in real life have to hear about it, okay? They're all safe from me. Well, I guess it's about it then. Abortion is not something I would particularly participate in or recommend for anyone at all, because I do not think it is humane or moral, okay? If it's something that you think is very epic and you would want to do it, then I'm not going to stop you, because I weigh 140 pounds. I've been losing weight, and that's just a flex because I'm on a diet. But yeah, since I am 140 pounds, I cannot fight you, okay? I would need to bulk up and gain weight again so I can go to the gym again and get more muscle, and yeah. And I don't know why everyone's all come to the conclusion that abortion is not murder, because it obviously is. That is pretty much everything I wanted to say, plus the other stuff that is just extra stuff that probably doesn't need to be in the video that much, but it's there anyway, so there you go. Follow the Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, sub to the second channel, and join the Discord server. I guess that's about it then. Follow the social media. Bye-bye.